right? So I just want to, pause and ask a question here. So, like most of them feel DSA is quite difficult. So what's your take on that?
It's completely a perspective how you see.
Mm-hmm.
If you see it is a very tough subject, you feel tough. If
Mm-hmm.
you see it's not a tough subject, it is very much easy to learn. It is easy to learn. So I always feel it is the subject or whatever it is not tough or it is not hard. How you are seeing that subject would matters. For
Yes.
example, for me, mathematics is very tough.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask, for me, for my friend, it is very easy because he do well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how you see the subject, whether you are interested to learn or not. I'm not at all interested in mathematics, so I feel very tough regarding that subject. My friend feel very much easy because he's very much interested in doing the maths and everything. So DSA also, if you have to feel a subject to be easy, you
Mm-hmm.
have to love the subject.
Okay, the first thing
Then
is
only-
your suggestion is to love the subject.
exactly, if you know what that subject would do,
Mm-hmm.
why the subject is required, it's not something you are doing for interview purpose. If you learn something for clearing the interview, you learn up to the interview itself to clear the interview. You'll have a boundary. I should learn up to here. For example, service-based companies will only ask questions up to linked list. Then I
Yes.
learn up to linked list.
Mm-hmm.
If you restrict yourself in learning till there, it's not something you are really learning.
True.
You are no, it's a cheat you are doing to clear the interview. You're just doing then and there, and you are just doing the interview here. If you love the subject, if you
Mm-hmm.
know what exactly does this DSA, how it is required in the development and in your software industry, then you learn the subject. You'll continuously learn. You'll continuously learn. Interviews are something which should come in your learning, and you would obviously clear the interview as you are continuously learning the subject. So I would say you should not learn DSA to clear the interview. Learn the DSA, then you start parallelly you start giving interviews.
But here is like, okay, if someone wants to learn DSA today, so what do you suggest from where they have to start? Like any resources that you would like to say or any tips and tricks for that sake?
Okay, so I would say how I have learned DSA, and it helped me a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
For no background, the computer science background, not aware of programming language also, but still I would have cleared DSA.
Mm-hmm.
I would say first start with the language. If you are a beginner, you
Mm-hmm.
haven't learned anything, if you're like zero, if you're starting from zero, you haven't know any programming language, I would suggest you to learn Python or JavaScript rather
Mm-hmm.
than C++ or Java, because there would be different perspective in this particular thing. Some might suggest you to learn C and some might suggest you to learn C++. But in my perspective, in my point of view,
Mm-hmm.
if you could get started now in the latest technology, the trend, whatever going on 2024 to 2025 from, I would suggest you to start with Python or JavaScript because they are high level languages.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very much easy for you to learn, easy for you to understand, and easy for you to code,
Okay.
which gives you the initial motivation,
Mhm.
right? So initial start, initial motivation for you, when you could write a program easily, you
Mhm.
would get a nice feeling that you have started writing a program,
Yes.
right? And if you do the same thing using C++ or C, you would initially find tough with all the terms, whatever we do have in C++, because it's not a high level language as Python or JavaScript, right? But if you could see Python and JavaScript, they're like plain English. You can
Yes.
easily read the code and
Yes.
other would understand easily. That would gives you an initial start and motivation for you to learn to do the coding, and then slowly start exploring the concepts one by one. Start with time complexity, space complexity, and before even that, you have to fall in love with the subject, and that comes when you know more about the subject. What exactly does DSA brings to you in terms of software engineer, in terms of your coding and everything. So whenever I've got to know that DSA is not only for interview clear purpose, it is something which trains your brain. Problem solving ability would be increasing only by solving the problems. Obviously,
Yes.
I have, whenever I do the front end application or task given by my company,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere DSA was there. Even to remove duplicates, I have to use DSA. Even though we are using the inbuilt methods, but still in my brain, I would know how the logic is working behind it, as I
Yes.
have already learned DSA. So I
Mm-hmm.
can write my own function. I cannot completely depend upon the inbuilt functions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So all those stuff, when you got to know the subject, you have to love the subject first before even starting it. Then you'll get to know why exactly the DSA is required. Then you'll start slowly to love the subject. Then only then when you love the subject, you will automatically figure out yourself the good resources. You'll
Yes.
automatically do the instinct in your brain. Will start searching on the internet. First,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get that starving. You'll get that starving when you know about the subject. You will be starving very much when you know about the subject and when you fall in love with the subject. That starving, whatever is created in you, will make you search, and you will only find good results and everything. If you ask me, I've done lead code 75 sheet,
Mm-hmm.
driver sheet. These are all the set of problems, quality problems, which covers all the patterns. So I would say you also have to divide your problems, whatever you have on the lead code, on pattern basis. And
Mm-hmm.
if you could solve all the questions on pattern basis, a 10 quality problems, if you could solve on one pattern, another 10 another pattern, repeat this thing, revise yourself, apply those things on your project instead of parallelly doing all coding. If you could start any personal project and if you could use those DSA concepts over your project, that would be great. You will also understand exactly where we are using this search functionality, search algorithm, sorting algorithm in your project application wherever you're creating. Yeah.
True.
Going up the questions, you would find many interesting for me.
Yeah.
Acting is something you haven't assumed, I would say, right? I have many things in such a way.
Mhm. Because
Yeah.
the beauty of engineers is when we start discussing about the core thing that we do, we start digging up more things like, yeah, we are doing this already. Yeah, yeah, we have told for even our juniors regarding this many times. I think this is a very good advice to learn about DSA, not just for the interview sake, but also indeed we use it in our day-to-day software development that we do. Yeah, although we don't see it. Yeah, for this, usually what I advise is for the any juniors or anyone who asks for me. Already, most of the frameworks are open source, so they can just go and see how the code has been written. Yeah, so we are so much used to just installing the npm packages or kind of libraries and just use them instantly. But if we get to know how that piece of code works, I think that will be a great kind of advantage for their knowledge as well, and that will help
Hmm.
them to optimize their solution that they are actually writing.
Yes.
And if we could know, there are few of the data structures that we use already, like arrays, maybe like stacks, hash maps,
Hmm.
and what else, like search, sorting algorithms. We use it
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like some of the graphs kind of things will not be using much unless it is required for the project. So that's why
Hmm.
most of them don't have the exposure for that. That's what I believe.
Yes. Yes. So basically, when you start building advanced projects, then you would be like getting to know or using the advanced data structures such as trees and graphs. Even I have used trees data structure in one of my project when I have to traverse DOM elements,
Hmm.
as DOM is something in tree like structure, right? So I have used some tree algorithms to make the DOM traverse much faster. Yeah, we would be using, depends upon what type of project. And if you could see Google Maps under the hood, they would be using graphs to find the shortest distance between two points. They're everywhere. Yeah.
Yes. And especially like when it comes to some of the applications from my interview experience previously for if you are going for giving interview for some companies like Uber, Zomato, or Ola kind, where maps included. So they're like definitely they need knowledge of graphs, trees, how they works.
Yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
Yeah, in usually like we don't come across it, but yeah, based on the project and complexity of the project, we'll
Yes.